folks. I actually got up and around before the kids today. We've been sleeping for like 10 hours at this point. We spent most of our day at the shop yesterday. You saw the clips I shot. That blew up overnight. Thank you guys for responding and chiming in and just checking out. This is a huge step for us. Let me see. Steps left to take. Obviously, just get the basics set up and figure out some of our permanent fixtures later. I gotta go down to Secretary of State's office. You can fill out all your LLC paperwork and submit it there. It doesn't take attorneys and magic and voodoo like so many people want you to think it does. I dropped the LLC on it. Jeremy and I sit down and have a real deep conversation and figure out where we're going. We're going to spend the month of September, maybe the month of October, operating much like we are. My overhead is no longer wrapped up with my household mortgage and such, so it's time to punch the clock, as it were. So there'll be more paperwork and blah blah blah. I got an old friend that volunteered to come in. Probably going to take 4 hours a week to input all the receipts and all that. I just got to get a computer down there and get my QuickBooks down there. And I am lackluster at best at the official paperwork side, and I realize this. I went to college for it. That would be an alarm going off. I went to college to try to better some skills, and I'm still horrible with the paperwork. So, bringing someone in part-time, I put it all on a flash drive, take it out of accountant, boom, there we go. Let me see. I did a 2005 Monte Carlo and that F-150 I showed you guys. The Monte Carlo was just a basic, throw a fender and a hood on it, pull a door out, a lot of blah blah blah. Nothing fancy to show there. It didn't turn out as well as I would like. And sure as hell will never. No, we're not going to be painting like we used to anyhow. So, that being said, the lighting is going to be better and the workspace is going to be isolated. Well, that Monte Carlo came from a customer, and at one point I carried just bare minimum insurance, just enough so I can't get into trouble. Well, we were in the process of trying to get moved when this gentleman and his son contacted me. God, I don't know if he'll be offended if I use his name or not, but the gentleman's name is Don Whip. He and his son he owns, his son works for, I don't know how it operates, United Heating and Cooling. Stellar gentleman from every account that I can figure. I've undersold myself on a couple of quotes. Undersold. And he told me so. You don't get customers that are not only looking out for their best interest, but yours as well. That just doesn't happen. That's a gift from the gods. So that being said, it prompted me to get off my butt, go up and deal with my insurance guy and get proper replacement of everything. Now we've moved. It's not back there. You know, I can look out my bedroom window and see the shop door. It doesn't work like that anymore. So I want to be covered also. Someone comes in and wipes out all my gear. So we got all that taken care of. I go up, I don't know, it'll be Monday or Tuesday. I'm ready to go up and get my policy. Sit down, meet with them, go over it. Insurance policy called Inland Marine, which covers your equipment. You cover it all. You can't just cover what's on one location, or that's actually considered fraud. You cover all your gear, which is groovy. But I gotta go up and walk through that. One tip when you do get insurance like that, if you ever get a policy on your tools, the cost is a little more, but they have two types of policies. You've got one that covers with depreciation. Then you got another one that covers with replacement costs. Get the replacement cost policy. Why? We'll put it in carpenter terms because this is what I'm most familiar with. You buy a frame and nailer for $400. You buy a hose for $100, and you buy a compressor for $300. Over the course of 5 years, they depreciate those out. You might get $200 for the whole lot if it's all stolen. Clearly, you're gonna have more equipment than this. We're simplifying it. What are you gonna get for $200 or even $300? You're not gonna get a gun, hose, and a compressor. And quite frankly, you know, that compressor's 5 years old and looks like hell. And that hose, you know, been spliced 16 times and it still works. The gun, it still works. It still produces the same amount of work as a brand new one. And to you as a carpenter, it's just as valuable, perhaps more so, than a brand new one. Cover your tools for replacement cost. You're going to be in a better place. This week's been a rolling nightmare. I can't even explain. It's leveling out now, but I basically just watched a week vaporize in front of my eyes that I couldn't do anything. So, Don wanted all this official paperwork. Well, I couldn't show him from here because we were moving. And like I said, it was just enough insurance that I didn't get in trouble skirting that gray line. Now it doesn't matter, I'm covered. I'm solid. We sent that back. We went through a trip on that shit. We had to get a lock cylinder for the driver's side door handle. The door handle, when we got it, the door was smashed in. The door handle was broken. The lock cylinder was gone. Just fucking gone. You call around, no junkyard wants to pull and sell us a lock cylinder, let alone a lock cylinder with a key. I had one guy tell me to sell it to me for $35. I was like, oh no, we don't have that, I'm sorry. Okay, well, fuck you very much. And then I called back to have him pull it. We wound up going to our pick and pull yard, the sturdy old wrench and go. And I know a gentleman from the old wrench and go commented up on Google Plus. Thanks, guys. I love your yard. We don't make it out there very often. Quite frankly, a lot of our parts, you know, we got a vendor out of state that comes in 2 or 3 times a week. And to get a new part and get it here paint it, and put it on, is less than pulling it, bring it back to the shop, do the body work, scuff it, shoot it, hang it. I had one of my cheapskate customers. Well, you're going out to the yard pulling parts for people. Well, we have to go out there and pull this part. There's no way about it. Oh, I get a lot of that from these guys. I've upset them as of late because I started tracking my expenses and making anything on their jobs, and in some cases losing. Well, I gotta show a profit. I gotta show that margin, otherwise their shop won't survive. That's my responsibility to me, my kids, Jeremy, his kid, anybody else in the fold, my girl Denise. That's a responsibility I owe to all of them. Here's a trick. If you hire work done, you're like, oh, go out to the pick and pull yard and get this, this, and this. Some scenarios it works. If we got to go out and pick up a front end of a vehicle, yeah, it works. Especially if it's, those parts aren't readily available. Or like this lock set, we had to. I didn't even think about it, but I ate it. We just went and got it. It was such a fiasco to sort this out. I was just happy to have it over with. So that was bad on me. But you figure like this. You go out to the Ridge and Go. You pull a fender. It costs between $30 and $60. I really don't know anymore. I haven't been out there in so long to pull body parts. I don't remember. Get it back to the shop. Well, there's 2 hours. Let's just say your shop rate's at $50 an hour. So they just spent on the top side, $160 for that fender. You got 2 hours body work. That's $260 for that fender. Now we're right where we started if we just bought a new one and had it delivered. I can get a new one delivered for less than $100. It's cheap metal. It's aftermarket, but it fits. We move on. So there's the economics of used parts and having a professional shop go pull used parts for you. Usually it costs more by double. Back to Don. We got a car over there. There's some dull spots where when I painted it was too hot. The clear didn't lay out. We had to wet sand. We still had some dull spots. Traumatize a paint job only so much at a time. We had to traumatize this paint job. It's good now. A little pinstriping on it. Don washed it out for me over the lock set because he, in my opinion, overpaid me to throw some pinstriping on his car. His call, and I'm not going to argue with the man. He knows more than I do, clearly. He's been in business for 30, 40 years. And he calls me yesterday. We got to pick up an SUV. We got it over to the shop. We got it over to the shop yesterday. Well, he wants to bring us his RV. The bottom 2 feet all the way around, and the grill needs painting. Okay, cool. And then a general cleanup. And now we're the cleanup guys for interior and exterior. And he's going on vacation, so he wants to make sure we've got some work to get by for the next 10 days when he's gone. And there's more to this conversation. I'm not going to get into it, but it just blows my mind. I don't know where this family came from in my life. I'm very grateful and thankful at this point. Very stern, very by the numbers, very focused. Customers like that, and he's willing to pay, living wages, living. He's willing to pay real money to have stuff done. Not overpay, but he's willing to pay a fair rate to have it done. I've got so many that would see me go bankrupt when they go to the next, Hispanic shop or whatever, where they used to go. There's one Hispanic shop we've taken a lot of work from. And they've always had a real shop and a yard, and I don't know, it's like our fairy godfather at the shop or something. I don't even know how to explain it. It just blows me away. And it's not the only person we've come across like that. We find, and the weird part is I'm honest and candid to a fault with folks. And by that I mean I'm a pretty coarse individual. I don't edit real well between brain and mouth. And I have a tendency of quite frankly saying the wrong thing or coming off in the wrong way. And I don't know, I got nervous tics. I twitch my nose, and I don't know, my nose itches. I twitch my nose. My neck binds up, so I fucking do this shit. I'm an odd bird, and I get it. My jaw pops, so nervous tics. So I got a few minor things that bat up against me dealing with general public on a professional level. Things that would make them think I'm boozing or drugging or whatever, because some of my nervous tics are quite odd. I don't booze anymore. I've never drugged, so go figure. I guess it's a good thing I never did drugs. I'd really be fucked. So we're moved over there. Our parking's limited. We have really awesome neighbors. The Ford project, his boss's shop is literally right next to ours. When I go in the shop door to the right hand side, I look over and wave to the electricians going in and out of that shop, which is cool as hell. The guys on the other side of me asked him what it would take to get my compressor up on top of the bathroom there. Oh, just come get us. Just come get us. Well, what do you guys drink? They're Miller Lite guys. So I'm gonna try next Friday to have 12-pack of long necks there on ice. Have them toss that up there. Share a beer with them. There's so much going on, guys. I can't even express or explain it all. We'll make ABC Towing happy. That'll be fantastic. Dolly will keep sending us stuff. Mr. Don, those two alone, that'll keep Jeremy and a part-timer busy. Our part-timer, hell of a guy. It sounds like he's just another one of us skulls in the gutter, getting going from my boy, going from nothing but trouble to, man, I just want to have a family. And it sounds like he's dealing with the tail end of his social legal issues. I like the guy. We also have Mark. I haven't heard from him in a couple weeks. He's an old retired Marine on disability, so he can't really work. But and I don't know how it's going to work with the new shop. Because at least here there was a bus stop nearby, and he just catch the bus and come over. So those two guys, I'm hoping. I don't know. I know the one part-timer, he's going to have to take some time off here soon for other reasons. But he's working out well. He's a hell welder. That's what he did. That was his profession. He had let that job go because it was like 6 days a week, 10, 12 hours, 14 hours a day. So I don't know.
Stop.
Rowan, Ivy. I'm filming Sunday morning coffee. If I hear a voice again, go. Come on, go. I don't want to hear this. Kids just woke up and they're already at it. I'm gonna wrap this up. So we get some cars moved over next week. I'll get DL thing sorted out. I'll start driving the old 79. I'll probably won't be able to afford to drive it to the end of the driveway and back, but you know. We've got the work coming in, going out. I hope to, weekend after next, have a little open house there, grill out there, do some dogs, burgers. Now there's a lot to see, but I got some people's cars. They need to see where they're at and know where they're at. Make an event out of it. Be social. It sounds like I'm starting to get the bases rounded on this situation. Smith Welding Restoration now has a website. All spelled out, Smith Welding Restoration .webs.com. I'm still adding to and taking away from the little website I built. I put it together myself. My girl's just been busy. She's actually the computer guru around here, but she's been busy, and there's a certain satisfaction doing it myself, even though it's poorly done. You go check it out. It's at least worth a peek. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to go through footage and actually cut stills out of the footage so I can post some more pictures. The boys have been going to the shop with me, staying there all week. You're gonna stay there all week while I'm on the weekends. What a ride. I'm not sure what bag of worms exactly I opened, but it's like this. When I started, I wasn't working full time. I didn't have enough work. When Jeremy started, I was overloaded, and still am overloaded with the restos, and need to get caught back up. But I didn't have enough cash flow to keep him around full time. Now he's full time. Now I've got a part timer, and I know I'm going to be using him Monday and Tuesday. And if things revolve around as they look like they're gonna, I'll use him Wednesday and Thursday. Big Kenny over there, he ever makes it out this way. I already told him I would help him get him up on his feet. Folks out there in YouTube land, I love you. You've been the lighthouse out there in the fog, you know. Keeps me focused, keeps me disciplined. Even the guys that hate on it, you know. There's things that I don't do to perfection. I'm going to end this with one simple facet. I'm an adequate welder. I'm an adequate painter. I'm a pretty damn good body guy. Just sculpting. But you know, and there's people out there that are better welders than me. There's people out there that are better bodymen and painters than me. But there's one facet that people lack sight of when they're trying to explain to me how this guy or that guy's better than I am. I'm fucking doing it. I've got the equipment to weld. You can be the best welder on the planet. If you haven't got the gear, it doesn't really matter because you ain't welding nothing. You can be the best painter on the planet. If you ain't got the gear and a place to do it, doesn't matter because you ain't painting nothing. I'm out there doing it, perfecting my art every day, getting better every day. Just don't allow fear to paralyze you. I did it for too many years. I wanted to do this 10 years ago, and all I had was people around me saying I didn't have the patience, I didn't have the skills, I didn't know what I was doing, I didn't. You can't. That's all I heard. And I let them be right for almost a decade. All you out there, for that decade and more in my life, that just every time I showed an interest or wanted to get into something, everybody else Love you guys. Thank you much. Pop in on me. Drop messages below. Subscribe. Find me up on the Facebook. I'm easy to find. Type in that name at the front. There I am on Facebook. Website, phone number's still good. I'm actually going to put an address on that here soon. We have an official address, so y'all can come visit during business hours.